Well, the Jets are at it again. Welcome back, everybody, to Jets Therapy. Another session, another week, 0-6. The Jets hit a new level of rock bottom. Uh, 2 out of 3, I want to point the positives first. 2 out of 3 facets of the game, defense and special teams, seem to hold up. And this was a good game for Steve Wilkes. Honestly, we needed to see this for at least him to show that he could do something competently because we have seen nothing on the defensive side of the ball since the beginning of the year. And this at least gives you something to build on. It shows that the defense has a little bit of pride, a little bit of respect. And we seem to play the Broncos hard for whatever reason. Special teams put us in good spot multiple times throughout the game, whether it was on a punt return, whether it was on a kickoff, putting us at the 40-plus yard line. This is You start comparing this to Zach Wilson's first year, Zach Wilson's second year, and honestly, you don't know which one's worse. I'm not as frustrated. I don't know. I feel like I'm not as frustrated with Fields as it was Wilson, but Wilson at least had the out of being a rookie and young, where Fields no longer has that. You're almost, it is what it is now. This is like his fourth year in the league or whatever it is, and you need to be able to see improvement, competence, and you're not seeing it on a consistent weekly basis, and you're not seeing a quarterback get better, get more comfortable. You're seeing a quarterback digress and get less and less comfortable in the pocket as the season goes on. That is wild, and that's not with horrible offensive line play. It's he really can't throw the ball accurately, even on the short slants, on the out routes, whatever it is, he struggles to put the ball in a very catchable spot for the wide receivers. You see glimmers of of the quarterback that you hoped he would be this year, but it happens 10% of the time. And Aaron Glenn is not making things easier on the team or on himself. He is bitter and arrogant in all of the wrong spots. And before the season started, you kind of noticed this. You saw that he had kind of like this jerk side of him, this very arrogant, short, almost cocky, like I know better side of him. And hey, if that works, it works, and that's fine. If that's kind of your MO and that's how you're going to be, this kind of hard nosed, cut throat, no BS type of coach, well then okay. But you can't be that way and lose. You can't be rude to the media and demeaning and disrespectful to the media during your post game press conferences and be a loser because you're just unlikable now. At least beforehand, when nobody knew that the Jets were going to be 0-6, you could have kind of like say, all right, he's kind of an asshole, but you know, maybe we'll win some games. Maybe that's what the Jets need. Saleh was such the opposite of that. He cared so much about what people thought and not upsetting his players or anything like that. You kind of said, all right, well, maybe this new coach then is going to be able to be that, have that aspect of his personality that Saleh didn't have. Well, he might have it, but we're getting the same exact result. So it's almost worse. He is both a jerk and a loser. That's a double-edged sword. So right now, this is a new level of rock bottom. Like I said, it seems to get lower and lower every week. Some of the worst offense you've really ever seen in the history of the franchise. Not too many places to go, but honestly, you would think up, but it could go down. It could get worse. I have stopped saying it can't get any worse with this team because it could always get worse. Talk soon.